So I recently completed one of the more unique Crash Bandicoot games ever made, Crash of the Titans. This game was so much fun and I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it. But first, my current goal is to collect, beat, and 100% every Crash Bandicoot game, and Crash of the Titans just so happens to be our 14th Crash Bandicoot game, which is just absolutely crazy to think that I've played 14 Crash Bandicoot games in a row. But this particular game was released in 2007, was made for the PS2, Xbox 360, Wii, and PSP. And crazy enough, it was also made for the DS and Game Boy, which is just really cool. But from my understanding, those games follow the story, like the same story, but it has so much different gameplay since it's on the DS and Game Boy. This game is so much more different from our typical platforming Crash Bandicoot game. It follows more the mold of Crash Twinsanity than any of the original Crash Bandicoot games, but instead of being able to jump around in the different worlds like Twinsanity, in Crash of the Titans, it's level based, which you can return to any level at any point if you're looking to 100% the game, which is really nice. This game also has so many new unique mechanics. Without spoiling too much, these games have a ton of mutants running around, all possessing different abilities. After lowering the health of these of these mutants, you can jack them and play as the mutants, allowing this game to have such diverse gameplay opportunities. Now, the question at hand, is Crash of the Titans a good game? Well, let's dive into the story and gameplay and answer that question. We jump right into episode 1, A New Hop. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like a tease to A New Hope or not. I'm going to pretend it is. But we start the game off just living life and enjoying everything Wampa Island has to offer when a familiar foe in Neo Cortex arrives and captures Coco and Aku Aku and freezes Crunch. Which is a bummer because I really enjoy playing as Crunch in these games. Like almost any video game, the first level is really just dedicated to showing you the mechanics and how this game is going to work and flow. This game has a thing called Mojo, and to my understanding, is a power source of life or something along those lines. Collecting Mojo will give Crash the ability to learn new attacks and also increases his health bar. There's a Mojo room in every level. The Mojo room is just a separate bonus round type of level that presents you with a challenge. By completing this challenge, you'll get Mojo and a voodoo doll. The voodoo dolls are important to fully completing the game. In this particular level, you're just trying to collect the green Mojo before the time runs out. After pushing through the level a bit, we find where Aku Aku was knocked down at. You have to defeat an absolute slew of Cortex's minions, and eventually you can rescue Aku Aku. Another key concept to getting 100% in this game is defeating X amount of minions each level. The other two big concepts are by hitting a certain number of combo attacks and then destroying all three of Cortex's spy bots. You also want to try and find the hidden concept art voodoo doll in each level as well. Then we see a few of his henchmen cowering, and we get to see our first mutant. We have the opportunity to fight this mutant and then get the opportunity to jack it. When we jack it, we get to play as that mutant. Each mutant has its own unique powers and abilities. Now, this particular mutant can send spikes up out of the ground. The rest of the level is just using your new mutant friend and defeating henchmen. We then move into our second episode. There are over 20 episodes here, so to help save some time, I'm just going to be going over anything that I feel is worth sharing in these episodes. If I try to break down each individual level in any real capacity, this would be an hour-long video, and you would not watch it. The second episode, which is named Succumbing to Age Story, has us progressing through Wampa Jungle again. We run into our next set of mutants, which is Gore and Snipe. Gore is a big giant bear-like creature that can be treated almost like a tank, while Snipe has the ability, just like his name, to sit farther back and snipe minions or mutants. The Mojo room here has you using Snipe to try and destroy all the bombs, a rather easy challenge. Nothing really happens here other than learning more about these mutant attacks. We jump right into episode 3, which is Zero's Journey. We start off using Spike and Snipe to progress through the level. We jump right into the Mojo room, and this one starts to be a tad bit more difficult. We have to defeat all the different types of mutants before the time runs out. I really like these particular Mojo challenges, a bunch of just quick action. This is also one of my more favorite levels. It's just constant mutant on mutant crime. Everywhere you go, you're almost locked into place until you defeat all the mutants. On my original playthrough, these are the parts of the levels that really bothered me. Shout out to my dude in the comments who taught me that holding triangle 3 times can break the block and help you jack any mutant. You made this game 10 times more fun and a lot more bearable. Episode 4 is the Temple of Zoom. This was a really cool level design. You had to go through 3 different passages to advance out of the temple. Each one was really fun and unique. The Mojo room here was just running around trying to collect 3 different masks. We also get the opportunity to use a new mechanic known as air grinding. This is basically where we just get to ride around on an Aku Aku. At the end of this level, we get a cutscene of Cortex telling Crash he ran right into his trap. This is what leads us right into our first boss fight with Cortex. Cortex sends out his strongest mutant yet, Yoctopus. Once when you lower his health, you can jack him. You have to start destroying all the barriers. After destroying the barriers, Cortex lands right in the middle of the battleground. Unfortunately, though, Cortex gets away, but leads us right into a cutscene of Nina betraying him and trapping him. Episode 5 is Emerald Pity. The Mojo room here is kicking the minions into the bombs, which is pretty hilarious. Poor guys. We also get introduced to a new mutant, Rhino Roller. This mutant is incredibly strong when you use its power up. You get to use rollouts like a mill tank and cause insane damage. Episode 6 takes us to Don't Eat the Yellow Brick Load. I really wish I understood this reference. The Mojo room here is using our newly introduced Rolling Friend and just causing extreme chaos with him and defeating all the enemies. After progressing through this level, we run into the strongest mutant yet, Shellafant. This fella just delivers so much damage every single hit. Unfortunately, he isn't in many episodes, still a fun mutant to use. Episode 7 delivers us to the Blizzard of Claws, which is very ironic since there is lava everywhere over here. A new mutant appears very early on, Magmadon, who has a very high damage based hit as well. These mutants are very nice, especially in this particular level since they can travel in lava without taking any damage. We quickly look into the distance and see a giant 8-legged drilling robot excavating this area for minerals. This level is also one of my favorites in the game. It has so much action and so many mutant fights. The Mojo room here is just going around trying to collect 500 things of green mojo before the time runs out. We then run into a tiny tiger who just keeps running away. You fight a mountain of mutants and keep progressing through until you finally catch him, who is just quick to snitch about where to go to next. Bro did not want to smoke. If you made it this far into the video and still enjoy what's going on, be sure to drop a sub to the channel. Most people who are currently watching this video are not currently subscribed, and it would really help me out tremendously if you could show some support. We are already now at episode 8, which is Life's a Beach. We get introduced to a new mutant here, Stench. He's basically the same exact mutant as Snipe, but instead he's a skunk. The Mojo room here is defeating all the enemies again, which is always my favorite. The rest of the level is just combat, pretty quick and easy level actually. Episode 9, Operation Overboard, has this living life like usual until we meet the scariest mutant in the game, Scorpilia. I guess that's how you say it, Scorpilia. This is one bad mutant right here, man. Can one hit any mutant in the game and basically just cause chaos. It is an absolute blast to play as him. The Mojo room here is using Stench to try and destroy all the bombs before the time runs out. We also get introduced to my least favorite mutant, Sludge. He has such a good block into attack combo, which just really killed me so many times. His attack also stretches out so far when he punches, which leads us into episode 10, A Sludge Too Far. This is like a live war zone, with bombs being dropped on you constantly while you advance through. You're actively trying to break into N-Gen's compound with a slew of mutants trying to stop you. A very fun level if you like combat. The Mojo room here is another one where you're trying to defeat all the mutants before the time runs out. We get another chance deeper in the level to use Scorpilia, and we get to use him to cause some real havoc this time, defeating multiple mutants to end the level. Episode 11 is Shock and Awesome. This level has so many minions, 130 to be precise. When I first saw that number, I was just in awe. We get introduced to a snowy mutant in this level, Ratsickle, one of the more annoying but powerful mutants in the game. In this episode, you basically just push deeper into his compound and just fight that huge number of minions and Ratsickle mutants. For the Mojo room, you just have to survive the timer and hope you don't fall off the map. Episode 12 is Weapons of Mass Destruction. This one starts off hot immediately, or should I say cold, with a massive amount of Ratsickles waiting for you immediately. This level is really fun and stimulating with all the different platforming and fighting. But I died so many times on this level, it took me a little while to figure out what was really being asked of me to do. The Mojo room here was just collecting 10,000 green mojo before the clock ran out. Episode 3 is Doomraker. Man, there's way too many episodes in this game. Similar to Temple of Doom, you have to go through different passageways to unlock the main route. We didn't get our chance to fight Engine, and it's just mutant galore. So many sludge and rat sickles are bombarding you. If you lose your mutant once, you're pretty much set to lose a life. After completing it, though, you get a good opportunity to just witness how crazy Engine's split personality is up close and personal. Dude is a whack job, but thankfully he helped lead us to our next area. We didn't get a cutscene of Nina ordering Aku Aku to stay back to kill Crash Bandicoot, which promises us a good boss fight. We didn't get to episode 14, which is Family Tree. Our Mojo Room is to jack Scorpilla and smash 25 minions, which is rather comedic and quick. There isn't too much of this level until the end, where we're introduced to our next mutant, Battler, which is a bat. But this bat is so strong, man, when it comes to the defense. If you don't use the block break, you just have absolutely no chance of jacking him. Now, episode 15 is Calmidityville Horror. I probably said that wrong. This houses another Scorpilla Mojo Room. This one having you not fall off until the clock runs out. You have to fight so many strong mutants here as well. So many sludges and bats. It took me a few times because if your mutant dies once, you're just cooked. Episode 16 is Timber Trials. At this point, the game's adventure is just really getting repetitive, so there's not much here for me to explain, except for you just kind of use Scorpilla to advance through. You also use him in the Mojo Room, and you fight many of the same mutants, which is actually really fun since they're all tanks. Other than that, nothing new. Episode 7 is Adult Education, which sounds like something Ricky from Trailer Park Boys would say. If you know, you know. Thankfully, we got introduced to our last mutant here that is not a boss, Electric, which can shoot out electric shots. The Mojo Room here has you jacking this particular mutant and trying to destroy all the bombs before the time runs out. Now, this Aku Aku or Uka Uka boss fight was so hard for me. It took me a long time to learn you can actually aim these long range attacks, and it took me multiple lives and button smashing to learn that. But after learning that, I could actually defend or defeat him much easier. Before that, I'm not sure I would have ever beat him. We get a cutscene of Uka Uka just being a sore loser and Nina teasing Cortex that she wouldn't even let him watch while she destroyed the island. Episode 18 is War of the Worlds. We make it inside the ship and it is much nicer looking than expected. The Mojo Room here is just trying to collect all 8 masks before time runs out. This level is rather quick and nothing really important happens here except you just advance deeper into the area. Episode 19 is Minority Rapport. This is a rather long level, but it immediately gives you a chance to knock out the Mojo Room. Just as you go in through and destroying all the bombs, this level gives you a chance to use so many different mutants throughout the duration of the level. It's really fun when the episodes give you more than 1 or 2 mutants to jack. Gives you much more diversity in the way you want to play it. At the end, we get another cutscene of Nina and friends, where Nina begins to proceed her wrath on Wampa Island. I just love the back and forth in this game between Nina and Coco. They play off each other so well. Episode 10 is Revengeance 2, the Revengicide. Not sure there's a world where I can say that 5 times fast, and I'm not going to try. This is the final level in the game. The Mojo Room gives you our big bad Scorpilla and allows you to go ham on all the different mutants from the game. Not a super long level. This level is basically just you using Scorpilla all the way through and making your way to Nina for the final battle. Now, her final mutant is strong. Arch Nina is by far the biggest tank in the game. My main tactic to drain its health was to corner trap them and just begin wailing on them, man. You had to jack them 3 different times and destroy all the machinery in there. This took me a few tries as well. If you lost your mutant, you were toast. No way around it. We get the final cutscene of the day, being saved, and Cortex rescuing Nina from the crew, and Crunch being saved from the ice, which ironically just broke out when we returned. It seemed like he just did not want to smoke and wanted to break for once. Unfortunately, there is no 100% cutscene here, but overall, this was a really fun and unique game. It felt like it dragged on with so many episodes, and I did not do proper research and did not realize when I structured my first few episodes that there were 20 episodes in this game. It took me over 3 weeks to fully beat this game and get to this point, but it was fun. I really enjoyed the comedic style of the game and dialogue. I feel like we've had that since Twin Sanity. It just makes the characters much more enjoyable. I also love the fact that you could jack the mutants, made the game so much more unique and really diversified the way Crash Bandicoot is played. I do really miss the traditional style of Crash Bandicoot games, but really tried to view this game as a whole entire separate entity, so it didn't really cloud my judgment of this game. I really enjoyed the level design and the soundtrack, like always, those are so good. Some of the cons of the game, it did feel like it was stretched out, but that could have been the way I structured the videos rather than the game. It was also a really quick game to beat. In order to 100% though, I had to go back and do some things. Felt like they made it that way to make the game longer. Now, with all that being said, my overall rating for this game is 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed the style and gameplay they presented to us in this game. To be on game 14 and still getting some fresh new perspectives and mechanics is a testament to the franchise's dedication to produce new, fresh titles. Now, if this was a grade, it would have gotten an 85%, which is a B. So I would answer the question, yes, it was a great game. It seems the next game is just a continuation of this game, so I'm really eager to hop into that. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.